Welcome to this hyper day, guys. Today I decide after work to take the hyper and go for a ride and talk about the situation in Europe with the super sport motorcycles. So I'm a Ducatista. I love Ducatis, and in my 8 years as a motorcycle rider I have owned 5 Ducatis and 2 Japanese bikes. The first one was the CBR 600 RR03, which was my first bike, and I don't want to get into the topic of starting on a 600, but I can say a few words. No matter which CC you start on, you need to give yourself some time to get used to the bike, and the bike to get used to your riding, and also where you ride, let's say, because any bike you start on, you can hurt yourself or you can do some big damage on your bike. So take your time, know the bike, get used to the bike, know how it handles curves, how it brakes, and how it does all things before you get crazy on it. I would absolutely not recommend starting on very small cc motorcycle like 125 or 250, for example, here in Europe. I'm speaking for our case, because with the small cc bikes we cannot take the highway like I'm about to do in few seconds, and we cannot go around ride with people because we do a lot of group rides, and if you don't have a big cc motorcycle you will have hard time to catch up or to be at the same pace as the group. Or if sometime a group just decide to take the highway to come back, because it happens when in the past when I was doing some rides, but I always had like a full cc motorcycle, I never had the problem. But in our group ride we used to post something and say all bikers are welcome except 125 and 250, because we didn't want to be waiting on someone all the time. So going back to the topic, why going back to the topic, I was very sad by the news of the, which way do I have to go? No, I have to go straight. Sorry guys, I need to figure out where I am because I was lost for a second. So going back to the topic, I was very sudden when I see, oh my god, there is traffic. Welcome to Italy, guys. This is what it means to ride here. This is why having a big cc motorcycle and a huge horsepower motorcycle is not the best for us. So going back to the topic, when I heard about the news of Yamaha discontinuing the R1 and R1m sales in Europe, I was very unhappy and disappointed, because 1.5 months before in my other channel I just posted a video talking about the super sport I'm considering when it will be time for me to do an upgrade from my V2 and buy something that's not Ducati. I was considering the R1m, the Honda Fireblade RR SP 30th anniversary, because I like that colorway better, and I was considering also the BMW M1000RR, which is a bike that's apparently has a lot of issues, but man, let's not get to the topic. So in 2021 Yamaha did the same thing, if I'm not wrong, with the R6 in Europe still, and we can get it here only for a from the used market or for new for a race track, like race configuration only. And the craziest part is that some of the bikers here in Europe don't understand, or don't seem to understand, or don't want to understand that this decision of Yamaha is not purely because they don't want to develop the engine and make it Euro 5 plus, because here in Europe we have regulation like noise regulation and emission regulation, stuff like that, that manufacturers, cars and motorcycle need to stick to in order to be able to sell their cars or motorcycle here in Europe. And people think Yamaha don't wanna, you know, do the hustle and make it Euro 5 plus, and that's like very stupid for some of the guys. Sorry if I say this term, but some of the people to think that's the reason. It's simple. Yamaha is like a corporate, and like any corporate company, they are revenue driven. And in Europe, obviously, let's say if I take an example, Italy, the minimum wage is not that good, and these bikes are very expensive. So the sales in Europe across, let's say, of the Yamaha was not the best. Therefore, they decide not to make an investment on developing the engine to the Euro 5 plus standard and make it still desirable by the motorcycle enthusiasts and the Yamaha fanboys, in order to put like, I don't know, 25 or 30,000 euros, which is a lot of money, on the new version, which might not be new, because Yamaha and Aprilia, let's say they were doing the same thing for a while. They kept the same bike and they did like very minor changes year after year, and they did not do big upgrade, and they kept the price in a point where it was satisfying and okay for a lot of buyers. Oh shit, did I took the wrong way? No. A lot of motorcycle enthusiasts and interested riders to purchase it. But now with this thing, they said no, we will not do it because the revenue is not there already. So let alone us investing more money and developing this engine to a Euro 5 plus standard. So they decided to discontinue the motorcycle, just because they were not selling enough. But some people in Italy, also motovloggers, are saying that it's because they don't want to do it, it's a huge hassle and stuff like that, and that's not true. Plus they are going and saying, oh, the R1 market, used market, will be very interesting because the price will go high up. It should high up because it's no longer in production. So basically they are just like spreading the FOMO, you know, fear of missing out, the now or never situation, which is not the case, to be honest. The Yamaha R1 and R1m used market will not be like these guys are predicting, or these guys are saying it will be, because there is no reason for it to shoot up. There is a lot of R1 already in the market. This was the worst moment to do videos. And addressing the fact that they said Yamaha didn't want to do the hustle to do the Euro 5 plus blah blah blah. It's not true, because the same thing they are doing for the upcoming Yamaha R9, which will be Euro 5 plus, they can do with this engine. But because the sales are not there, the revenue is not there, they decide not to do it, which is a choice that I really understand, and I really you know, endorse, let's say, because every investment needs a return. If this investment for the Yamaha decision making people had no return, they did well not to do it, and that's it. But it's very sad, like I said, because it was a motorcycle that I was very interested in, mainly because of the sound, not because of the technology or anything else. The Crossplane 4, the EP4, yes, Crossplane 4, had one of the best engine sounds I have ever heard. Even the MT10 was one of the nakeds I was considering in case me upgrading to a 1000cc naked bike instead of a sport bike, and that's all like gone, let's say. So the upcoming R1 will be Euro 5 Plus, and it will replace the the R6 on the Super Sport Championship, and let's hope it does well. But to be honest, I have some doubts, big doubts. Because I foresee the same fate that happened to the R7, which is a super sport wannabe motorcycle based on the MT-07 engine that did not sell very well, and they are doing the same thing with the big sister, with the MT-09, making the R9, a 900cc that would be for sure competing with the Panigale V2. But I don't see the R9 winning anytime, because for sure it has less horsepower than a V2, which is 155 horsepower. The R1, oh man, I'm mixed. The MT-09 I think is like 130 horsepower, so they need to squeeze the same engine and get out of it 20 horsepower more. That's to me is looking like a real hustle, rather than the Euro 5 investment and evolution of the R1 and R1m. Let me get out of this situation. By the way, the heated grips are nice. I'm on my way to my local Ducati dealership because they are organizing a track day, and before I booked, I want to go and get some information first and be sure that when I booked, I'm in the same group as them and as the same sessions and stuff. Because last time I went with them, it was amazing, and I did, you know, put my knee down for the very first time at my second track day. Track days are something that it's the best thing I have ever done in these 8 years of me riding motorcycles, and I recommend everyone to try it at least, to go to a track and do a track day, because it's something that it's not easy to describe, but it's something that's gonna help you to become a better rider in all shapes and form. Let's say me, I was scared of some stuff that was happening on the road based on how I was riding, which was not the best and correct way, and based also of my lack of knowledge about motorcycle and how tire works and how to handle turns and stuff. But since I went to the track and I put my knee down, I learned to trust my motorcycle, and I know that as long as I'm doing my part right, there is no issue or no problem coming from the bike unexpectedly, because bikes don't do things once in a while. They do it because you as a rider are taking the bike or pushing the bike to do that type of behavior or to do that type of thing. So I recommend to do it, guys, because it's gonna unlock like another level of your being a rider. That's gonna help you improve your riding and stuff. Plus, once you go hard and you push your bike to the limit, or almost to the limit you are capable of handling or within your ability, you will realize how much you were risking if you were pushing your bike to the limit into the streets, and you will become you will take your street riding easier and more chill, and therefore risk less. Let's say for us, you will risk less your license, you will risk to do damage to your bike or to harm physically yourself. So I think it's a good idea. Oh man, the video was a little bit like this because of the traffic and stuff. I couldn't concentrate a lot, but I'm really sad of this news of the R1m and R1. And at least thanks to God, there is Ducati and Honda. They are still making the bikes, but they are very expensive, and sooner or later these bikes will be only for very wealthy people or for track use only. Because for the pace of the price incrementation, I don't see myself like buying a V2, V4 or V4R in 5 years, because I won't be able to afford it if I don't win a lottery or something like that. But in the meantime, I will enjoy my V2 and my Hypermotor 821. This bike I will never use to the track because the front suspensions are the worst I have ever tried on a motorcycle, because they are not adjustable. The worst. Okay. Bye guys, see you on the next video.